An algorithm does the following. If I were you, I will not draw in my question paper, because drawing, you cannot get this drawing at once. You will make a mistake. So what I will do if I were you is to take my extra sheet of paper to draw. When I get it correctly, then I return back to the question to solve. Understood? So I'll be using my extra sheet to solve. When I'm done, then convert it back. It says, an algorithm does the following. Input a list of 7 integers into a what? 1D array. So we need to input 7 integers. Input 7 integers. Input 7 integers into an array. So let me draw. The first thing, I need to input an integer 7 times into an array. Input. Yes or yes? Yes. So that is input num. Okay. This input will be inputted to an array, isn't it? Okay, good. That means I have to, do I have to check if they are 7 before I input, or input and check if they are 7? I need to check before I input. Because if I input before checking, by the time I'm checking, it might have been 8. I will have added the 8th one. So after inputting, we need to check, and that is a process, isn't it? No, that is a what? A decision, not a process. Okay, I need to check if there are 7 integers. So that means I need to have initialized something here, maybe count, to be equal to what? 0. When I input num, then I make count to be equal to what? Count plus 1. Don't forget, this does a rough work, right? I will still transfer it. After checking if count is count plus 1, then I draw my diamond to check is count equals to 7. If it's equal to 7, what do? Then I move out, isn't it? If it's not equal to 7, I have to repeat the input again, isn't it? So if it is not equal to 7, then I go to another block to save into an array. So that will be array count is equal to what? Num. Okay. So if array count is equal to num, then I go back to the input to receive another input after count. After count. So this moves to this moves to this. Does this make sense? Count is equal to 0. Input num. Count is equal to count plus 1. Okay. After count is count plus 1. Is count equals to 7? No. Isn't it? Since it's not yet 7, then I can save it to the array and receive another one. Then 2. By the time I receive, then this will be more than 7. Okay, let me analyze it again. Input num, count is 1. Isn't it? Is it 7? No. Save it. Input num, count is 2. That's 2 inputs, right? Is it 7? No. Save. Input num, count is 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. When it's 7, it will not save it. So I should use what? Greater than 7. Because when it is 7, it will not save in the array. And I need to save how many? 7 of them. So I need to use greater than, not equal to. Is this understood? Good. So after doing this, then I move forward. That means the array is totally populated. Okay? Good. Okay, after doing this, then I can go back to my question. What I just done is the first one. The next one says, iterate through each integer in the list. Then I will now take each integer in the list. Take the first one first. After taking the first one, then check if that one is odd or even. Is it odd or even? Okay. So let me take one of them and check if it is odd or even. Now going back, then taking one of them is what? Is a procedure, isn't it? Then I take maybe another variable that will have to set in together with count. So let me just take variable. No, I don't need to do that. Yeah, I don't need to do that. Let me just come here and take another variable to be equal to what? To be equal to um array what? Array 1. No, not array 1. Let me say array num or array count. Then that means after it is greater than 0, I need to greater than 7. I need to what? Set count to be equal to what? 0. So count is equal to 1. So I start again. Okay? So I start again. Then variable is equal to what? Array count. I've taken the first value, isn't it? After taking the first value, then I need to check if it is what? Odd or even. That means is variable this equals to 0. If it's equal to 0, it is what? If it's not, it is what? Odd. Then I have my here is, if it's greater than 7, yes. And this should be what? No. So if it is equal to 0, that means it is. If yes, that means it is what? Even. If no, that means it is what? Odd. Understood? If yes is even, if no is odd. If it is even, what do I call? Double value. So if it is even, if yes, then I call double value. So how do I call? What do I call? I'm calling a function, isn't it? What do I use to call? Isn't it? Then I call double value. Double value. If it is odd, what do I do? I call the what? The square value. Square value. Okay? After I've called both, then I go back to the question. With the integer as what? Parameter. With the integer as parameter. That means this is wrong. I did not pass any parameter. So what do I need to pass? VAR. I need to pass what? VAR as the parameter. Understood? So after calling, keep a count of the results. So as you call, you do what? You count. So let me come here to count. So that means count odd is equal to count odd plus 1, right? Then this should be what? Count even. Count even is equal to count even plus what? 1. That means I must have set what? At the beginning, count odd to be equal to 0. Count even to be equal to 0. So I can add to itself, isn't it? Because if I don't set, I cannot add to itself, isn't it? So this is just a rough work, this is just a sketch. Don't forget the arrows when you are drawing the wheel diagram. The arrows are very important. So after doing this, what is the next thing? I've kept the count. So repeat the process for all what? Integers, isn't it? So then I can bring both to the same and write and check if it's what? If the integer is what? This count to pick each value in the array, isn't it? So I will now use this count to check if the array is if I've taken all the values in the array. Is that understood? So I need to check another condition is count greater than what? 7. If yes, that is all. I've taken everything. If no, I have to do what? I have to take another what? Another count. So that means if it is no, I have to come back to this line, isn't it? To take another value. Is that understood? I have to take another value. Did I increase count when I was doing that? I did not increase count. So that means after taking a value, I must have increased what? Count is equal to count plus 1. Is that understood? I can do that because it's the same process. Is that understood? I can do that because it is the same process. It's a process. They have the same block because they are both process. I cannot write a process and input and output in a block, but I can write two processes in one block to prevent number of blocks to be too much. Is that understood? So after doing this, so I have my arrow to come back to start again. So this should join. It should join to no. So that means if it is no, what happens? It starts again and continue that loop until what? Count is greater than 7. If count is now greater than 7, then what should happen? That means I'm at the end of the list, right? I've taken all integers, right? What is the next thing? Output each total count. Then I have to each total count. And that is what? That is an output. So what do I output? Output count odd. Output count even. But the question says what? In a suitable message. Output the total odd integer is, count odd. Remember, I was increasing count odd, isn't it? Also, output the total even integer is what? Count even. Is that understood? So you have to make sure your arrows are correct. After doing this, that is all right. Then what do? Then you end. End. Then you go to the beginning and what? And start. So this arrow goes this way, this goes this way, this comes back this way, isn't it? You have to make sure all the arrows are correct. This goes this way, this goes this way, then this way, this comes back this way, then this goes this way, this comes back this way, this goes this way.
No, the yes is the arrow on the other side. Because it's a condition, yes, no.
Yeah, the yes is wrong. Because if it is yes, is when it should go the other side. Okay, good. So that's why you have to put your mind when you are working, okay? This should go this way, this should go this way. Then to the end. Then when you are done with the sketch, then you can now go back to your question and what? And just transfer it neatly. Any mistake you have done, you will have done the mistake, you will have corrected it, then you come to your answer booklet and transfer it neatly. I hope this is well understood. But you must understand before you draw. Draw a sketch before you now transfer it to your normal page. Okay?